During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about sweep nets like the one I've got in my hand here and how you can use this for insect scouting.
I don't know why, but I always get nervous whenever I see something like a sweep net in my brother's hands, like he's gonna put the net over my head or something. This isn't a net for catching people, it's a net for catching bugs. And for farmers, when they're out in their fields, one of the big concerns they have is, will there be an insect that takes away from my yield? Will it chew on my leaves? Will it eat the seeds that are out in the field? And honestly, in almost every field I've ever been in, yes, there have been some harmful bugs. So for farmers to get a good feel for how many of those bugs are out there, it's tough just to physically look and see if you see the bugs. But using a sweep net allows you to catch the bugs off guard, and you can really get a more representative sample of what's going on in your field.
So the whole point is you take the sweep net and you sweep back and forth a certain number of times. There will be a lot of insect thresholds and a lot of published information that's out there saying, okay, if you sweep back and forth, let's call it 10 times, and you find X number of bugs out there, that's the point where you can justify a treatment.
Now, certainly there are times that you can do this and times that you can't. So for example, in a short soybean field like what we're in today, no problem. You can go through soybeans, pretty good sized soybeans with the sweep net because the beans don't really get that tall. But when you look at a cornfield, yeah, if you've got a 10-foot tall cornfield, you're not going to be running a sweep net anymore out there. So you normally are using the sweep net early in the season or in crops like alfalfa or soybeans or wheat that you can go through it all season long.
So the great thing about the sweep net is it just allows you to collect a lot of bugs in a hurry so you can make that field scouting and make your decision as to whether or not you should spray with an insecticide very quickly. It's really difficult if you're going to go through even a soybean field like this one that's relatively small and look at every single leaf. It's painstaking. Whereas I can sweep through, do 10 sweeps in 10 seconds and take a look at the inside that sweep net and bam, I'm able to make a decision. I guess the big thing that I would say here is when we talk about making a decision whether to spray or not, it's identifying what are the good bugs and what are the bad bugs. So undoubtedly, if you are not an insect expert, you're going to have a few bugs that show up in your sweep net where you go, wow, I don't really know even what that bug is. It's very easy today with modern phones. You can take a picture, send it to someone and say, hey, what is this bug? And usually you can get it identified very quickly.
Because there are beneficial insects that are out in the field, predator insects that will eat other bugs, like a ladybug, for example, loves to eat soybean aphids. So if you've got aphids out in a field and you say, well, my aphids are at a pretty low level, but man, I caught a whole bunch of ladybugs, great. The ladybugs are taking care of the aphids. But if you see the other way around where, wow, I just got 1 million aphids and I only saw 1 ladybug out in the field, well, the beneficials aren't out there in high enough populations to really help you. So getting out with the sweep net in your field is important. The other thing you should be doing in fields is scouting them for weeds, like our Weed of the Week. Can you identify this week's weed?